Hi, guys from YouTube, all my followers. This time I'm gonna be scanning or resolving an issue on Audi TT. This is the Cabrio, is the soft top model, and is a 2007 model. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be actually praising the DS708. I'm actually quite disappointed with the lack of a so imperative function when it comes to these VAG cars or Audis, Volkswagens and stuff like that. So I have actually VCDS working. I'm going to try to show you what unfortunately the DS708 cannot do. This car came to me with a problem on a roof. The roof would open okay, but would not close. So when you try to close the roof, the top flaps would open. For someone who doesn't know what the top flaps are, is these little flaps on the side. I hope you can see them in there. Right, is those flaps in there. There's one on each side. And so when I was trying to close the roof, the top flaps would open, but that was it. Nothing else would happen. So I would have to close the roof manually. After the roof being closed manually, I would just have to bring the roof right until here, leave the lights open, and then if I press the close again, the lights would actually open and would engage again and would finish the closing procedure. But that was it. Next time I would open again, would open okay, closing would be the same problem again. Was no active codes on a car, was only codes in the memory, and the codes, they were all related to the left side flap over there. Now I first started with the DS708, which it reads the codes fine, but that was it. I could do the live data. We'll connect the machine so you can see actually why it's missing in there. But for now, I'm going to explain you what I did. Sorry guys about that. Basically what happened was the top flaps, what they do have is two kind of sensors. They have a micro switch sensor, and they have a variable resistor sensor as well. So when the flap is open, it should show below 52 ohms. When it's closed, it should show over 162, if I'm not mistaken. Now that flap over there, the right hand side, closed. The micro switch would say closed, but the ohms, they were above 52. So basically, it was two kind of. It was actually the DS708 and the VCDS would show implausible signals. So basically, it was one signal was fighting against each other. It was two different signals. One was saying open, the other one was say I'm not open, or I'm not closed, but I'm not fully open. So basically, all you need to do in this case was reinitiate or initiate the sensor. So what you need to do in this case is select outer roof. This is in VCDS, yeah. And there's no fault codes now. So there's no fault codes. And basically what you have to do in this case is come to output test. You select an option to start, and you select that one. Yeah. When you select this, you press start, and how you do what you need to do is, doesn't matter if the rooftop is closed or open, you need to do a full cycle. right? So in my case, the roof was closed. So I've opened the roof and closed. But when you do this, the roof moves in steps, like a couple seconds at a time. So it takes a good 5 minutes to do a full cycle. After you do this, with this running all the time, after you finish, you do stop, close, and the roof should work just fine. Okay. Obviously, I've then went to measure the values. We can actually do that, just curiosity. But when I go to measure blocks, I will show you there. There we go. So that is the thresholds. Actually, is 165 and 67. I said 62. So basically, this is the threshold value. This is the trigger point. Any value after this will mean the flaps are closed. So at the moment, obviously they are open because they need to be open for the roof to be closed. Yeah. So they are both reading 44. At that time, before this problem, before the initialization, the top left was reading about 54, 56, about that. Okay. If you go one above, actually, it tells you it's actually 54. I said 52. I do apologize. Yeah, that one was reading about 56. So that was the reason. Then you have all these. Sorry, guys. You have all these beats measurements there, right? One of these was saying on. Sorry, it was saying closed, open. It was saying open when it was not open. So basically we're saying 0 in there, which means is open, but the actual measurement was above that threshold, so the car wouldn't do nothing, would never close, because for the car was like if that was actually closed, so it would break the flaps if we do that. So an initialization, I've actually resolved the problem. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to connect to DS708, and you're going to see that this option here is not available on this car. Okay. Right, guys, the DS708 is now connected, and we're going to go now see. Right, just for you guys to think. So if you come to maintenance functions, you only have these two options. Nothing of these related to the roof. If you come to models guide, even if I go down, I've checked all these. There's so if I go to TT there, 2007. So I go 2007 there. If I go coupe, so there's nothing here. It's only for the motor, for the engine. If I go to the roadster, it's only for the engine as well. So there's nothing to do with the actually for you to see. So there's nothing. See, steering assist. So there's nothing related to the actually roof. So there's no options here. So you can see all over there. Over there is only 2006. So there's really no option here to do nothing like that. So if I go to systems, control unit, over there, help information, I've read all this. There's nothing, absolutely nothing here. Here, there's not even the rooftop available, as you can see. Okay. If I go to repair information, as you can come down, there's nothing for the rooftop as well. So now we'll go on to the control unit. That will be under there, and auto rooftop. So select the rooftop. So read codes. Once again the same. It's no codes, which is good. Now, as you can see, you have no option for output tests. Absolutely nothing. So when you go to live data, another thing that is curious is a so important feature and it's just very disappointing that this feature is not available on here. And to make it clear, the machine is absolutely up to date. I've checked this morning and it's absolutely up to date. So there we go. So the live data works fine, everything works fine. If I go on to so everything works really. You see information, everything works. Except the output tests option is now available. So if you think about this machine for this Audi in terms of this particular problem, this is not a good option, I'm afraid. Hopefully Autel will correct this problem in the future, and that's it. Other than this, guys, for all the other ECUs in the car, everything works absolutely fine. I've checked already. It reads all the ECUs, and the actually output option is there. So if I come, let's say for example, to a common one, the engine active test, so there is. It's the same as the output tests, but is there active tests? So that is why it's missing on that ECU. If I go to instruments, active test, there it is. So all the ECUs that actually have this function is available. Unfortunately, not for the roof test. So guys, I hope somehow this information was helpful, and for you guys with this problem on your roof, that is what I need to do is initialize the top flaps by doing it the way I've explained you. And if there's nothing wrong with the sensors, if they are just not calibrated, that should resolve your issue. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a nice day.